Hello and good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Good to have you here. Paul Tranny going to dive into, what do we have, 9 days? You have me for a total of 10 days. Daily creative challenge for Illustrator. So this is going to be a lot of fun for me. That's right, because I love Illustrator. Illustrator, Photoshop, my go-to. So super fun, and this is going to be a blast. I think everything starts in Illustrator, let's face it. Everything starts in Illustrator. Everything else is just output. Yeah, you put the logo and you animate it in After Effects or whatever. It goes into Photoshop for a poster, but it all starts in Illustrator. But we're going to take an even further step back and focus on something a little bit more general as well, because the next couple weeks is all gonna be all about art lessons, which is when I put on my nerdy glasses. I just look for a reason to wear these glasses is all. But we're gonna have basically 2 weeks of art lessons in Illustrator, and also dealing with art and design in general. So kind of taking a higher level look at the principles of design, the elements of design, the elements of art, and how that fits into the grand scheme of things with art history and everything. So this is going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to it. Hopefully you are as well. Let me just share my screen, and hopefully that's not driving you too nuts, that whole background there. And let's dive into it right now. I'll show you where you can find this stuff. Awesome. Give me 1 second. Oh, here we go. I'm sharing a file for everyone. Here it is. Let's open that up, and let me just go ahead and share my screen. So I know that was a little much, but here we are. Just a simple file that I'm going to start with, and we'll talk about this. Hello, I want to welcome Scott, Jack, Jairochimaya. Awesome. Yes, Jennifer, Henry. Yeah, it's going to be good times. Justin Roy, what's up? So here we are, art lessons for the next 2 weeks. It's going to be a lot of fun. And yeah, we're going to dive into this. Just so you know, go to Behance Daily Creative Challenge is hosted right here. Behance.net challenge /Illustrator. That's usually where I go. Click on that challenge tab. I'll share this with the world as well, just so you know, just so you have it. And that would be awesome if I could do that. Okay, cool. All right, so we're starting with day 1. So today's all about orientation, right? So that's what this day is. But we're going to fill in each one of these squares. I saw some people are new here, but each day is going to have a lesson. And what we're going to do on day 1 is just, I could give you a header, but basically I'll reveal the header to you, and then we'll kind of talk about some of the art principles, if you will, if that works for you. Okay, so this is going to be a lot of fun. You get an overview of really everything for the week. Okay, so this is where everything is going to appear. Not to worry, nothing's there just yet. What you do want to do is join the community chat by going to Discord, right? So that's where the conversations are going to be happening, and so make sure you get involved there. Boom, there we are. Illustrator, everything will go in this current challenge. Where is it? Make sure you're in the Illustrator tab. Actually, make sure you're clicking on the right thing, because my brain hurts right now. Let's move that over. Here we are, Discord. The Creative Challenge right here, it's just day 1, but you're going to put all of your stuff in the current challenge tab, right? So that's where that's going to go. And let's paste this for everybody else that's joining me elsewhere. If you're joining me elsewhere, whether it's on Facebook, YouTube, or Periscope / Twitter, head over to Behance. But let's kind of take a look at this, because I want to actually go beyond this. We're going to be dealing with a number of art lessons, which is going to be pretty cool. I could share this file with you. I think everybody just appreciates having a header for their Behance project. So I'm going to go ahead and give this to you. And notice that it does have 2 layers right up here. If I turn off this first layer, I know we're already getting into specifics, but we'll turn off this first layer, and then we have the Illustrator logo. So there we have art lessons. This is the file. I'm going to give that to you just because I like to. And I will share it really fast as I switch screens because I cannot share all my fun notes with you just yet. So let me just do that really fast. Wait for it. Actually, it's just this. Here we go. We'll do this for you. Let's jump back out to my browser, and I'll share this link with you. But basically, I'll give you this file. It is ptrani.me/art lessons. Right, there's that file. That's just a shortcut to it right there. So I will make sure I post that or the whole Dropbox link to you. Let me just go ahead and drop it in here. Or not. Come on, buddy. There it is, right there. Boom. And I'll post it. So let's get this started. I kind of wanted to show you what I was going to do for the next 2 weeks and how everything is like set up, because I think this is going to be a lot of fun. Okay, so right in here we have this file. I'm actually going to click over to this other one. Actually, let's start with this one file. This is all about each day you're going to create something, right? And it's going to be awesome. I have this little preview right over here. We have a number of cool things that we're going to cover, right? It's all broken down into various elements. But what you want to do is you want to take that Illustrator file, okay? With this Art Lessons Illustrator file, you want to export it out. You could do this a couple ways. The easiest way is I just go to File, Export, and Export for Screens, just like that. Export out this file. I'm going to export it out to my desktop. So there it has Artboard 1. That's what it's called. Okay. It will always do this when you go to export for screens. This is going to give you the Artboard name. Okay. But I'm going to export that out to my desktop as JPEG at 100%. So I'm going to make sure it's nice, big, and crisp, all that good stuff. You could probably drop it down as well, but we'll go ahead and export out that artboard. Sure enough, here we are. There it is. Name really doesn't matter. There's our beautiful graphic. So I encourage you to actually jump in here and play with this, right? This is currently a grouped file, but you can ungroup it. There's just a number of elements in here. I can click on this background. Let's make this different or something, right? Do I want to change the color of each one of these letters? Do I want to change the background of that as well? Do I want to change this text? And again, today is all about kind of playing around, customize that title to what you want. We could do something like that. That's kind of fun, right? Art lessons. You ready for this? This is going to be even cooler, by the way, because I have in here, I just have this little stroke that I have around the text. Okay, so that's what this is. What's up, Andrew? Good to see you, man. Andrew's usually hosts these, or he's been hosting them for a while, so I guess I'm taking over this week. He's probably has things to do. But right here, we have this cool line. How cool is this? And that's the best thing about this file right here, is because I can open up my brushes panel. So go to Window, go down to Brushes. You're going to get a ton of other freebies. So right over here, I have all these brushes. So I could select this line. Okay, here's this lovely line, and I can say, hey, let's make it look like, well, actually, let's first change the color. I'll just change the color to just a red. But yeah, let's make the line look like bacon is what's currently happening. It's really stretched out, but this is a bacon brush, believe it or not. But let's select this line one more time. Let's click in here. Let's just click on all these fun little things. Ooh, this is kind of fun for art lessons. Kind of very artsy, you know, kind of like that. It's kind of cool. I'm kind of into that. But you have all of these. Your whole goal is just to explore right in here. Like, let's make it a snake. Why not? Right? The snake, I'd have to cut maybe a little bit of this. Let's just cut it right there. But there's a snake with a tail and then a head, right? So that's what's happening there. So I encourage you to kind of pick what you want. You get the idea. Make a fun title, right? I know you're just starting out, so I don't expect you to know how to do everything, but this kind of helps me like kind of gauge where everybody's at. This title you actually might revisit after this whole challenge is done, right? I wouldn't be surprised if you revisit this title. But these are all about art lessons, right? Once we have that done, we'll save it. We could export this out again, just so you know. That's all I do. Export artboard. Let's just replace that current one, because this one's much more fun, isn't it? That's fun, art lessons. Ooh, you're fancy. Carol's making bacon? I'm getting hungry now. Afroja, good to have you here as well. Awesome. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do art lessons. This week is all about art fundamentals. The next week is all art history. This is gonna be so much fun. I'm so excited about this. So right in here, here's our file. I will ultimately, your ultimate goal for this is to have a Behance project where you can put your all your progress. So right in here, here I am. Up at the top, by the way, I know I just clicked on that really fast. In Behance, don't go there now, but create a project. Right in here, we can start building out this project. Right in here, actually, I don't want to add text. I want to add an image. Click right there. Yeah, you know how to upload an image. If it says image, you click on it and you upload it. Right here it is, art lessons. September 15th through 25th, because you have me for 2 weeks. So this is what I would do, drop that in. Just below that, I would add some text. Participated in the Adobe Illustrator challenges. There we go. With Paul Tranny. You get the idea. 2020. Right, so there you go. That's all I do. Add as much or as little as you want. I hope you join me for like the whole 2 weeks, but whatever you create, just put right in here. And that's how I would do it. So for tomorrow, when we create a cool design, hey, that's we're gonna upload it as well. We'll export it out and we'll upload it. Like that's what I would typically do. Okay, but before we even sort of complete our projects, again, like I mentioned, we have Discord where conversations are going on, and heck, just to kick it off, I'm gonna jump down to the bottom. So I scrolled so far up. Oh, wait. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Jack Watson Jackson. You're so helpful, Jack. I love it. So there's the file. Boom, done. Feel free if you want to kind of play with it today, you can. Right? That's not really the goal. The goal is just to kind of give you an overview of the next 2 weeks. My version. Why not? So that's what we'll do each day. Upload it. It'll get reviewed later on in the day too. And then our whole goal is to better you as a designer, as an illustrator, as an artist, as a person. Hey, why not? Right? We want to do it all here. And I'm just thankful you guys are here. I'm thankful for everybody, you know, because I think this community is pretty amazing. So I have 10 minutes to kind of cover what I'm going to talk about. Let me take off these. They're fake. They're not even real. It's so silly. All right. So let's go into what we'll talk about. For this week, we're going to get into all of the elements of art. That's what we're going to do. The elements of art. Line, shape, space, color, value, form, texture, right? This is everything comprises of these elements of art, right? And that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna give you a quick, yeah, let's just kind of click over to this one. And then there's also like the principles of art. So it's like taking these elements, whatever they are, as I draw out a circle, taking this element that's currently a line and turning it into a pattern, for instance. So we're gonna have a pattern, and a pattern actually, as I do that a couple times, maybe I'll just hit Command D, that's even easier, right? What does a pattern become? A pattern starts to create texture right down here. So I know it's behind my head, but this is what we're gonna do. It's like combining all these elements to make you sound smart in meetings, ultimately, right? But now we have that pattern. What if I take this middle one right in here and I make it a little larger, right? That one's a little bit larger, we'll flip it. Oh, now this one, what do we have here? Oh, we have emphasis or dominance. Now we know this one's dominant, right? And there's contrast between the lines. It's balanced, not perfectly balanced, but I would say it's still fairly balanced as a design, right? If I put this at the end, this might look like it's containing some movement potentially, right? So it's like dot, 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 or especially if I made this one like a little bit bigger, right? And this one a little bit smaller, right? We can see this movement that starts being generated. Not a great example, I get it, but you get it. By the way, Daniel, flashbacks to principles of design 5 years ago. Like, this is the fundamentals. This is what's so fun about this. This stuff does not change. Your software will change. You'll join me next year for Illustrator, whatever version that's going to be, right? Illustrator 2021, right? I'm going to show you all the buttons and switches and knobs to make cool stuff, right? But ultimately, the fundamentals are what you're going to learn that are not going to change. So that's what's going to be fun. You're going to learn, of course, some fun buttons and switches. You'll learn how to make a star, maybe change that star to a, hold down your key, to a true star, right? Oh, how'd you do that? I know where the star tool, here's the true star, right? Or up arrows, right? Down arrows, click and drag, make it even more pointy. These are all buttons and switches that I'm going to show you how to do, right? And then we'll get into the principles of using all those stars in a design, right? What did I just do here? I just created a mess, right? What did I really do? There's a repetition of that one star. So you have repetition, you have motion, it's kind of energetic, it's all that fun stuff. Yes, thank you, Kevin Lee. You know what's up, right? It's all the fundamentals. This is the thing. You do not pay attention to any of these. You just won't. You won't pay attention to any of these. Sorry, let me move this over. Until something breaks. Something looks off. That's when you're going to be like, oh wait, what about the principles of design? Like, what is not working here? Usually when a design breaks or a piece of art breaks, I tend to think it's your eye is being conflicted. Like, there might be 5 things that are jumping out at you, so your eye doesn't know where to go. So a lot of this comes down to layout. How do I use all these things? That's where it gets interesting. That's where designs are made or broken, right? But we're going to cover all these elements of art, principles of art. The fun thing is, by the way, I know I'm talking kind of fast, but say for instance, tomorrow, and this is just a quick preview, by the way, we're going to get into graphic design basics, where we're going to be using line, shape, space. We're going to make a logo like, sort of a Paul Rand inspired logo, or Paul Scheer. So I'm going to be throwing out lots of these people's names, right? We'll get into color and value, which is largely like Georgia O'Keeffe would be a good example. But color goes for everyone, like whether it's Monet or all these people, right? Kandinsky does a lot of splotchy art type work. We'll get into form. What does typography do? It actually lends personality to form, which makes it even more interesting. We'll get into some fun textures, and we'll do kind of a retro texture sci-fi book cover by this weekend. Yeah, Paula Scheer is awesome. My favorite quote of hers is she says, she was talking about the Windows operating system and the Windows logo, and she's like, if it's Windows, why does it look like a flag? That's my favorite quote of hers. If it's Windows, why does it look like a flag? And she's exactly right. Why does it look like a flag? I'm reminded of her every time I go and pick up the Pepperidge Farm cookies, because whether it's her firm or her company or whatever at the time, she basically designed those Pepperidge Farm packages that are all white and clean, and I love them. They're so delicious. But the second week is going to be really fun because we'll start to get into the history of art. Okay, so this will be cool, sort of taking what we know and doing some fun different styles. So we're going to do some surrealist art, like Dali, Frida Kahlo. She's surrealist. She's surrealist. Not as much as Dali, but definitely surrealist. Pollock, Rothko, Picasso, right? We're going to do some graphic portraits as well, like Lichtenstein. He's the one that does that comic book, Ben Ray Dots, if I'm saying that right, it has like a couple different names. Shepherd Fairy. I actually have a Shepherd Fairy art right over there, so that's going to be fun to talk about. I got it signed. It's so cool. And Shepherd Fairy is going to be at Adobe Max virtually in a couple weeks. So that's going to be really fun. We'll get into sort of bending brushes and having some fun with some brushes where we can apply that to maybe an expressionist look. But I thought it'd be fun to do a little Dr. Seuss brushes. Dr. Seuss actually goes very well with like surrealistic too, which will be Ben Day. Thank you. Ben Day. Thank you so much, Carol. Awesome. Yeah, follow some of these guys. I don't know if DaVinci is if he still has a Twitter account or an Instagram. I don't know. Maybe. See if DaVinci is see what DaVinci's doing on Instagram lately. But yeah, I follow a lot of the art curated channels of these. We'll blend colors together, so that's going to be a lot of the blend tool, which was featured. The blend tool came out in version 2 of Illustrator. Like, it's one of the oldest tools, and I love it. We'll remix The Birth of Venus by Botticelli, right? The Birth of Venus, right, was actually the icon, or I don't know, on the splash screen for Illustrator for years. So I thought it'd be fun to do, and I think it'll be a fun week because we got lots of fun things planned. Yes, but he's not verified. You guys are killing me. It's funny. Right, so this is going to be really fun. We're just going to learn about like just the high-level names of some of these people, and we'll talk about this the whole time. So it is going to be a lot of... Yes, by the way, I love that stuff, Carol. I love all that, those little dots and all that stuff. I love Lichtenstein's, like that whole style of doing like a dot matrix, doing that color halftone look is going to be a lot of fun. So we're going to have fun. Today is just your intro, so I get to just kind of have some fun since we're talking about it. Let's go ahead and draw out a circle, right? As Kadinsky says, everything starts with a dot, right? Here's my dot, although it is a little large. Let's go ahead and let's just make this a gradient, right? Let's do a gradient kind of like that. Switch it up a little bit. Get rid of that one. And take a look. We're going to jump right in here to... Oh gosh, now I'm drawing a blank. Okay, so we can do color halftone. Right, we'll do color halftone on this just for fun. Max radius 8. I'm not sure how large this is. We'll just click OK, but there's those wonderful dots. But this already like creates this cool... It has obviously like a lot of energy, and it's like your eye is drawn to this immediately. So again, it's kind of cool. What I would do anytime I draw something out is I want to make sure my properties panel is up, and this shows me pretty much everything I have selected, so it's going to be our main reference. Surratt would be good. Oh yeah, Surratt. Some of these are... I noticed some artists lend themselves more to Photoshop than Illustrator, which is why I have a little bit more... modern kind of pop art, you know, would be, you know, lends itself well to good old Illustrator. Let's make this 25. Why not? Click OK. There's those dots. Much better. Easier to see, right? We have repetition. We have dominance, right? We have definitely balance, right? If any of these things are off, I would probably consult back to the elements and principles of design. Okay, so that's all we're doing, guys. Right? Surratt's your favorite? I don't know. Do I have I really like surrealist, which again I think that kind of I like surrealist type work. Is really fun, and of course thinking of Dali when I say that. His work was like huge. He actually has a museum in Florida and in Figueres, France, which is just right near Spain. That's pretty cool. So it is a blend. It is not. It's actually not a blend. It could be a blend. Lichtenstein, very Lichtenstein-y as well. Look at you guys. And again, my whole goal of this is not to you guys can prove how smart you are. I'm not here to like show off or anything. I want to inspire you with what all these different artists can do. I don't want to be like, oh, you don't know about so-and-so. It's not meant to be pretentious. It's meant to be fun, and I'm sure it will be as well. So yeah, what I did is I went right over here, by the way, I already applied it, but it's the color halftone, which you actually have in Photoshop. So for this, you're gonna get 2 for 1. You're not only learning Illustrator, you're gonna learn a little bit of things that carry over into other tools. Okay, so that's what we're gonna be doing. It's gonna be a lot of fun. That's about it for me. Sorry about the crazy art stuff in the background. It's a little intense, but this should be pretty cool. Yeah, try to complete as many as you can. Again, the goal, and I have this written, I have a bunch of quotes I'm going to share with you guys, right? You all might get worse before you get better. My goal is for everybody to create something that they don't like, because it means they're moving in a different direction. If you're doing something you already like, yeah, you know how to do that. Move in a different direction, learn something new, right? And it's going to be a blast. So I am going to leave you guys with that. Thank you so much for your time, but we have a good day today. We have a little video editing. Oh, love it, video editing, like what I did here, right? Took me all weekend. But thank you, Stone, Jack, everyone. It's gonna be fantastic with Vashi visuals. That's gonna be fun. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much, appreciate you. And stay safe, everybody. We'll see you.